Marriage has a way of bringing you to the place of vulnerability. This is the stage to face and confront the reality of what it means to be husband and wife living together as one. But one thing this stage does is that if it's not handled as supposed, the husband or wife will begin to think that the spouse is not good enough because of so much they have seen about each other, because of how much of their weaknesses they have been exposed, how much of the limitations they have been exposed to. If not handled maturely, if not handled as supposed, this is when the man and the woman will begin to think they made a mistake in their journey. They married the wrong person. They married who they are not supposed to because they have faced reality and they have seen all there is about their spouse, the negative, the positive, their limitations, their error, everything they can and everything they cannot do. This is the stage where we ought to be naked and not ashamed. But unfortunately, many people get to this stage. They became naked actually, but they are full of shame. They begin to add pretense. They begin to see it as an error. They begin to see it as a mistake on their marital choice. This stage confirms the reality of what the scripture said. And they are now naked and was not ashamed. Until you allow this stage to work in you and through you, allowing you to improve on things you are supposed to do. If it's not handled as supposed, you may be naked as a spouse, but you will still be ashamed of your nakedness. Vulnerability is part of every marriage, and this is when the reality of what it means to be a man and a woman hits so hard in your marriage as spouse. If you don't intentionally manage on stage a marriage carefully, to result to constant misunderstanding, constant conflict, constant nagging, bitterness will creep in, and you become unhappy in your marriage. Listen, let's tell spouse. Every marriage has its own challenges, internal challenges and external challenges. Challenges from within, conflict from within and outside their marriages. And this, when not handled as supposed, it may become so intense in their relationship that the spouse will begin to fight themselves instead of fighting the problem that is affecting their marital relationship. They begin to see themselves as enemy instead of joining hands together, instead of working as a team to fight what is coming after their marriage. They begin to see each other as enemies, as the problem of the home, as the cause of all the issues, without knowing that what is happening to their marriage is coming from external, and they need to join hands together as spouse, as a team, as one, as an entity, and fight it out of their marriage. For those of you that have been following my teachings a lot, this is one thing I always say: your spouse is not your enemy. The enemy is that which want to break your union. The enemy is that which want to end the blaze in your home. The enemy is that which want to separate you and your spouse. If you don't learn to hold hands together as a team and fight it out of your marriage, you will realize that you will always be fighting the wrong fight until you target and position your bullets pointing at the real enemy. You can't shoot it out of your marriage. Stage is so delicate. It is a stage that easily results to divorce, to quitting, to separation. This is why you find relationships that have counted more than 10 years comes to an end in a blink of an eye. And you'll be wondering why. The reason is because a lot has happened that was not managed as supposed. There is no perfect marriage anywhere. Whatever you see happening in your marriage happens in every other person's marriage. All of us are fighting. All of us are going through one thing or the other in our marriages. The difference is how we handle it. Whatever you think that is happening in your marriage has happened in other person's marriage. But why is this see them together? Why is this see them happy? Why is this see them striving as husband and wife? It's because they stood side by each other, not against each other, side by side, behind each other, and solidly fight together and fight that which want to separate them out of their marriage. Listen to me, my dear spouse. All of these stages are very necessary for your marriage. They are essential for your marriage. The stage where you feel that it's all about fantasy. You're feeling like butterfly in your stomach. The stage of your vulnerability where you begin to know everything about your spouse, negative and positive. And the stage where you have to face a lot of confrontation, conflict, misunderstanding, external problems, they are all necessary to build up, to strengthen, to solidify whatever you share with your spouse. And when you successfully triumph, this is when you can boldly look at your spouse and can shout it aloud. I married my friend. I married my type. I married the best person in life because you both have successfully thrived. You both have successfully fought and you both successfully conquered. You're standing together as husband and wife. How long every stage in your marriage will linger is determined by how it is being handled. There is no duration specially tied to it. It can last longer and it can be shortened. Depend on the approach, depend on how intentional, and depend on how tenacious you and your spouse is. But trust me, turning bliss in your marriage is possible. But it all depends on how intentional you and your spouse are in complementing each other, in standing by each other, and in helping each other to grow and improve into the best version of themselves, helping each other in areas they are finding it difficult on a daily basis. Please, my dear spouse, do not be too quick to quit whatever you are going through at any stage you are in your relationship right now. It happened to so many. There is no greener grass out there. It's only greener when you look at it from afar. You can water your own garden and it can become as green as you want it to be. But it depends on how tenacious you choose to be, on how intentional you choose to be. Please, joy, happiness, together forever is possible in every marital relationship, but it has so much to do with you and your partner. Stay blessed.